Hello, my beautiful people, and Yapping Gamer Dad, aka the Driver Crooner, baby. We back in our NRL round 2 Division B Saturday division. You know what the deal is. Coming into this weekend, we are sitting at P4, fourth place in Division B Saturday, 12 points. We only had that one race around Hash Brown Speedway. And you know, that went well for us. We went from 10th to 4th place. Was feeling pretty good coming out of that week, but we got to flush that. We're here now. We have moved shop, so wherever Blue Moon Speedway is, we've packed up, got DHL on speed dial, and we have migrated to Italia, Monza to be specific. That we are at the Theater of Speed, and we're gonna hop on board with qualifying. We're in the we're in the Audi R18s, I want to say it was R18 TDI. People in like auto manufacturers and a lot of corporations, y'all need to get better at naming stuff, man. Come on, I can't keep up all these letters and numbers and algorithms that represent what your piece of machinery is supposed to represent. So yeah, just a random tangent. Skipping the first chicane, so that is a key point we need to call out. This is Monza no chicane. Monza no chicane, which technically is also bad naming because there is a chicane. It's just not 2 chicanes. I mean, I guess it's technically 3 chicanes. We're gonna play a water drinking game. Yeah, take a sip of water. We're gonna take a sip of water every time I say chicane. I'll start. All right, I should be nice and hydrated by the end of this. Yeah, so coming into this race, I thought I had prepared, you know, I'd say sufficiently. I usually race against the AI to try to get some real world experience with what it's like racing with our cars on the track. And I definitely noticed a lot of actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to talk about what is on the screen right now. Lap 5 in qualifying, the fastest I have on the board so far is 1:30. MD Hop really just threw out a big joker there with that 28.5. And it's really at this point in the session that I realized I did not have the pace. I was at least a second off the pace on the most optimal conditions, but as you can see with the times, like, I'm nowhere near that, and I'm not really feeling like I'm knowing where to gain the speed at, right? But we try to put the fastest lap down. We can see where things shake out. Coming into Parabolica here, looking for the 50 board. I don't trail brake very well. You would think that watching and making so many videos, I would actually like analyze and treat it like a film study, but I have not done that. So that's what we're going to kind of do today. This should be fun. A little bit of traffic coming up on us here. Santa Miguel, I'm able to pass him, and MD Hop coming out. We have a little bit of miscommunication here. I thought he was going to stay inside and let me go. He came outside at the last second. I tried to, still give the space and not cause an incident or anything, but it did kind of, kaput this lap. So there's a lot of pressure riding on this final lap of the session for me to see if I can get out of the bottom half. In terms of strategy, I was thinking if I start in the top half of the grid, we're going to go soft. If I start in the bottom half of the grid, I'm going hard and no stop. This lap that's coming up is going to be determining that. So let's see how it goes. Trying to build up as much speed as possible down the long straight. Again, we don't have the first chicane to worry about, so Really just trying to pull the gears. I was didn't have a lot of confidence in my gearing for some reason. I didn't know whether I should be revving this out or short shifting a lot. So I found myself like just revving somewhere in the middle a lot of times, which is not good. But here we go, looking for the 150 board. The tires are a bit worn at this point. Hitting these chicanes were very tricky. I was definitely taking a chance on that second one trying to split it because these cars did not like those little sausages, the orange parts, at all. If you hit them wrong, you're gonna start bouncing up and down like a basketball, which is not good when you are, you know, in a race car. I take, what's it, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, and Degna 1 and Degna 2. I get those two confused all the time because they feel very similar, but I want to say here it is the Degnas at Monza. I may be wrong about that. But neither one of those went well. I'm red through both of those sectors. Again, the tires may be too worn at this point. I'm able to bring home 20, I don't even know what it is, 27, 28, 29. I think I was able to improve through that last sector enough to bring home a sub 130. Yep, sub 130, actually a 129.8. But while that was a bit of a, I guess, confidence booster that I could do a sub 130, it was still only 11th on the grid, so I'll be starting close to the back again. Like I said, the plan was to go no stop hards, but we make plans, God laughs. So here we are, race time. The grid has lined up. Practicing against the computers does give me this advantage. My launches are usually insane. You can see here on the hard tires, I've just practiced this so much to where I'm able to really be really quick off the line here, especially this week it showed, because again, the gearing was so weird on this car. But what I thought was a blessing actually turned out to be a curse. Coming through, I think this is Curva Grande, carrying way too much speed in the slipstream, missed my braking point, and just clatter right into the back of Santa Miguel, who hits MD Hop, who hits Lead, who ends up at the back of the grid. I caused a complete and utter mess. So, apologies to everybody involved. Definitely a extremely unfortunate situation, and all I can really do is learn from it, right? I tried to brake. They need to get more grip over there where the grass is, so I could brake next time maybe, but braking horsepower I don't think was where it needed to be, as we see Rosal and Pip there having a moment themselves. This is just a testament to how hard these cars are to drive, right? There's multiple instances through this race of people spinning out, but let me get back to me. Sorry, I'm recording this live. Yeah, one, got to be more cognizant of the dirty air, and then two, just take the reset next time. I should have tried to keep, I did try to keep it straight, I will say that, but I turned just a little bit. You know, that split second decision of, do I try to save this, do I keep going, and you know, just wasn't good enough. So definitely, you know, apologies to, dang, I don't even know, everybody involved. Unfortunate incident all around, right? Like, race is off to a very, you know, poor start. To add insult to injury, we have damage, which is going to be hindering our overall performance, and we're going to try to nurse that. There's that thing I was saying about the sausage curves on lap 2 there. If you hit them wrong, it messes up all of, you know, the weight distribution and trigonometry and Bernoulli's equations and all of that of the car. And all of that being messed up leads to you facing the wrong way on the track. So this day just went from bad to worse. MD Hop having a bit of a moment there as well. Again, that just speaks to how hard these cars are to drive and control, especially when you're going at the speeds we're going at, right? Yeah, so really at this point, actually no, there was a lot more. This is just lap 2. This is just lap 2, and it's already just been all types of, you know, flipping and turning and just chaos, right? So racing is a cruel mistress, and I feel like me especially, but a lot of us got a, you know, a nice heaping taste of that on this beautiful Saturday. Lap 8 here is where I get my next piece of action. Since I'm going for the no stop off, you noticed me there looking at the fuel gauge to make sure I was going to be able to make it. I looked good to go there. And Arrow was able to catch up to me. I want to say they were on the soft tire. I'm not sure, but carrying this damage really rendered me very helpless to any sort of further fighting. I just did not have the legs to really keep up. I'm able to kind of fight it a little bit here and get in the slipstream and try to see if I can work with Arrow a bit. By this point in the race, I've kind of learned my lesson in making sure I'm lifting, going into each corner, trying to be as careful as possible there. But you can see here on this back straight, just in the slipstream, I'm not gaining as much as I should be. I'm barely gaining at all, right? And this is just, it just felt unsustainable, really. You can see even my lap times suffered. I'm running 32s, 33s. Looking back in hindsight, I wish I would have pitted earlier. I wish I would have pitted earlier and maybe gave myself a better chance to stay dangerous and be in a race. Coming through that, you know, second chicane, there is really where you can see the car differences. Arrow's just able to float through there. There's just 6/10 just by this point. There's another 3/10 there, and it's like he's driving off through the distance. So really feeling a lot like Haas at this point in the race. Hopefully there's some drama ahead, right? And I can put myself in a position at least to score some points. Because even though we're racing in daily divisions to get to the championship, we are, you know, competing as a unit. Friday A versus Friday B. Our Friday A and Friday B are in the same pot. So definitely scoring points each week is, you know, the goal and the name of the game. Consistency is really the key to brilliance and a lot of different aspects to life. And, you know, it's no different here. Santa Miguel hits... passing them in the pits, so that's me up into P10, and Rosal has actually been able to catch up by this point. Not going to fight it too much because, again, I know that Rosal probably doesn't have that damage to let him go through there. And yeah, really, there's really nothing I can do at this point. I'm a little bit quicker through the chicane, I noticed, than Rosal on a couple of occasions, so that made the back and forth a little difficult. It really reminded me of there was a daily race a couple of weeks or months ago where it almost felt like a multi-class race, right? There was like the Bugattis and the Bugattis and the Hondas, I want to say it was, with the hybrid. And like one car was really good down the straights. There was a VGT car there too. One car was really good down the straights, but one car was just so much better in the corners, and it made it for some very, frankly, some very sloppy racing. Here's me going back and forth on Rosal. I'm trying not to stay completely in the slipstream. He makes a bit of a mistake coming through. I don't know at that point. You know, let me know how you feel about that again. There was a bit of contact, but I feel like I was there. I don't think I did it, but Rosal, you know, any offense taken of that, my bad. But again, I just decided, you know, that place is done and dusted, which is honestly not what I wanted because, again, you can see he just makes up all of that time on the straight. So it would be prudent of me, and probably better for the both of us, if I am the, you know, the caboose on this line. We keep going back and forth like this for a couple of laps, I want to say. Rawls gets it a bit wrong again. Yeah, through that second turn there, I'm just able to get a better exit, and you kind of have no choice but to leapfrog there, right? Trying to get down in the second gear here for the rotation. The car is feeling very boaty at this point because the tire wears are also kicking in. Everything's having to work a lot harder again because of that damage. So me and Rawls went back and forth like that over those next couple of laps. And this moment on lap 15, things changed. He gets it a bit wrong. I guess I don't know. Boy, this race was just downhill to me. I didn't react fast enough. And you know, we get some contact there. I drive off. Even more damage, even more time lost. And yeah, like I said, racing is a cruel, cruel mistress. Some days are just not your day, and this was one of those days. This was also a very strange weather condition I didn't get earlier. Again, you can see how much cloudier it is as compared to qualifying, right? There was a little bit of talk about somebody seeing rain while doing one of their practice sessions, but you know, folks came back and said that it wasn't possible to rain at Monza. I don't know. I wasn't, you know, I didn't see the rain. But he said there was rain. This weather looks rainy. So it did scare me, I'm not gonna lie. If it was mind games, it worked. But what I think it actually ended up happening, you know, is like the track got cooler, so the grip wasn't as nice, and definitely through this part of the race, it just felt like a labor of love for me at this point. It was tough drives. You see there, I'm missing a gear. I'm not locked in, going wide, missing the apex by 50 million miles, and I'm in P10 right now, so I'm still in the points. There's still something to fight for, but MD Hop 3.5 seconds behind at this point, and there's a lot of laps to go. If he's running anywhere in the 30s or the 31s, you know, she's going to be catching me by lap 19 or 20. So I know if I pit here, that's just a complete, you know, acknowledgement of defeat, I guess. Yeah, that's a clear acknowledgement of defeat. If I pit here, he's definitely going to take it. So the plan at this point was just to drive as much as I can, drive as fast as I can, and hold on for dear, dear life. I would not have to fight for too much longer though, because just a bit later here on lap 17, Hop catches me up, jumps me, and drives past me like I'm not even there. I try to maybe, you know, throw a little bit of juice at it. I got a pretty good exit coming out of the SS there, but you see here, I just don't have the legs. By the time we get to the back of the straight, the end of the straight, his tires are just looking a lot more lively. I'm getting a bit of oversteer there, and I don't think I was getting some oversteer there. I think I saw that and was like, yep, it's time to pit there. Maybe I could have stayed in the slipstream, you know, but I just didn't think that trying to fight with him with the damage and the older, you know, hard tires was going to get me anywhere. So we'll switch over to the softs. Shout out to HHP, the best crew chief in the land. And yeah, nothing really happens from this point. This is, let's say I'm in P12 right now. I take over P11 here. Rosal dives into the pit, so that was kind of a bit of a, you know, a lifeline thrown to me there. And I'm guessing those soft tires just, again, didn't have the legs to make it. I'm pretty sure he did a pretty long stint on them, so I'm sure it was a valiant effort, but this track was definitely not nice to tires. I can't say that. At this point in the race, MD is 18 seconds ahead, so that he might as well be racing on another track. And by the time, you know, we finish this soft tire stint, we've been able to cut them down a little bit. I think maybe may have made a bit of a mistake somewhere, so it's still plus 5 seconds, but it's ultimately honestly pretty disappointing P11. So yeah, that was this weekend. It was definitely a entertaining race, but the best thing I can really do now is flush it and get ready for the next round. I'll definitely need some big points here if I want to make the championship. That's coming up in 2 weeks. So it's put up or shut up time. No excuse. Just produce. We'll see how the preparation this week's goes. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.
Parquet.